In terms of the economic future of the islands, diversity clearly will be important. What are the main areas in addition to tourism and the military, on which you will concentrate your energy and resources? And you have 2 minutes to answer this question.
It's really an ability to extend on my prior comments. To a large extent, we have been able to build off of what the defense industry gives us, what energy gives us in terms of research and development, what, for example, the astronomy and education gives us in terms of research and development. I believe that that is the future, and that's going to help our economic base. Remember, when we talk about the economy, we're talking about one thing. We're talking about jobs. We're also talking about good jobs. We're talking about jobs that will raise the wages that people have so that they can have the next generation here. This reminds me of when Russell Kokubun and I did Sustainability 2050. And we defined sustainability as being able to watch the next generation grow, being able to watch your grandchildren grow, because what it meant was that things were right. It also meant that the economy was strong and the next generation could raise their children here because they could see the jobs. Hawaii is a unique and beautiful place. And the way that we continue with building upon that is to know that we provide the best environment, 10 ecosystems of the 12 in the world, all in the state, most, not all, on this island. What better way to enhance our economic growth than to do what is natural, to do what we have that no one else has, which is to have that economic growth based on research and development, based on the uniqueness of what we have. And I think that will bring people from all over the world here. And let's not forget, the pivot to Asia Pacific, which the President believes in, will also bring all of these interests and funding to Hawaii.
Thank you. Mr. Schatz, talking about the economy and our economic future, aside from tourism and the military, what are the areas in which you would concentrate? And you have 2 minutes.
Well, I'm going to continue to focus on clean energy because we have great opportunities there. We don't just have great opportunities in terms of attracting investment and starting new businesses, but again, to try to provide some rate relief for Big Island residents who are paying too much. It's not just that you're paying too much, it's that you're paying more than anyone else in the country. And that's not acceptable to us, that's not acceptable to anyone. So I'm going to continue to focus on clean energy. The other star on the Big Island really is the University of Hawaii at Hilo. I have spent a fair amount of time up at the campus, and just the growth over the last 2 or 3 years is extraordinary. It is now not just a gem in the UH system, but it's a gem internationally. The reputation is growing. The impact on the East Hawaii economy is tremendous. The pride that I see, students graduating, I had the great opportunity to provide the commencement speech a couple of years ago. And it was an extraordinary moment for me just to be able to kind of look out into that crowd and see all these local kids, some kids from, East Asia, some kids from the mainland, some kids from Europe. It was just an extraordinary thing to see all this academic excellence, all this entrepreneurial spirit, all this community pride at the University of Hawaii at Hilo. The federal government has a role to play in terms of making sure that resources are invested in the University of Hawaii at Hilo, whether it's through the Department of Defense or through the National Science Foundation or the National Institutes of Health. There are plenty of opportunities for my office and our congressional delegation to continue to support the great job that people are doing at UH Hilo. But again, what's happening at UH Hilo is because of all of you. It's because of what is happening in this community. We're along for the ride. We're pleased to help. We want to help. But it's really something that everybody ought to be proud of and continue the progress.